But what I find very interesting about this track, and it's been a minute since I've talked about this, is the idea of sampling and its heavy usage in these days, in the 60s, and kind of the hypocrisy that I see around it sometimes from some music listeners of the time, because a lot of flack is given to hip-hop about the use of samples. But this track borrows very heavily from Sweet Little 16, to the point that Chuck Berry's lawyers and his publishing company threatened a lawsuit, and then eventually Brian Wilson's father and manager Murray Wilson gave the copyright for the song to Arc Music, Berry's publisher. It's also notable that Fun Fun Fun, another hit by the Beach Boys, sampled heavily from another Berry song, Johnny Be Good. This is all part of the research that I've done on the track, and again, I think it's fantastic when new musicians can use the ideas and things that were left behind by people who have come before them. I think that's what art is all about, borrowing and creating something new. It's the basis for hip-hop. But when I brought this up in other music reviews, reactions that I've done, there's been a lot of pushback, people saying that it's completely different when you take someone's lyrics but you put it to new music, which is what a lot of like Led Zeppelin did, and a lot of bands who stole from Chuck Berry and other blues musicians. And then this one, it takes heavily from the music. To me, there's no difference when you're saying one is a cover, like a cover of a track where you're taking the lyrics and a lot of the times the music as well. You're not changing much, you're just putting a voice over the top of it, and it's okay then. But taking a tiny snippet, so oftentimes distorting it, changing it, making it into something new isn't cool when hip-hop does it. I can't quite see the logic in that one. Some people don't like when I say this, but I think it's all okay. I think it's great. I mean, Picasso said it best. Good artists copy, great artists steal. Now, I think he's one person we should all take advice from in terms of the artistic process. But that's just my 2 cents on the thing. I guess you guys will let me know what you think about this. Surfin' in the USA was one of the very first Beach Boys tracks that brought them widespread success in the US. It led to their notoriety rising and Brian Wilson to be taken note of for his producing skills and songwriting skills. Other than that, let's get into the music. This is Surfin' USA by the Beach Boys. Here we go.
If everybody had an ocean across the USA, then everybody'd be surfing like California. You see them wearing their baggies, Warachi sandals too, a bushy blonde hairdo, surfing USA. You'll catch them surfing at Del, Ventura County line.
Okay, so as some of you guys who listen to the channel often know, the Beach Boys have been a complete hit and miss for me. I really loved the experimentation of the band, especially for Good Vibrations. That was a track that took me by surprise a lot because they had all this rich instrumentation that I thought was interesting, and I felt like the production, especially for the time, was taking a lot of risks and chances. And this is a track that's very notable for its production. I was reading about how this forwarded a lot of things in terms of vocals and layering music, but you know, I can only be a listener of today and not of that time in the 60s where this was revolutionary. Hearing it today from a hip-hop fan's perspective, just something about the music just misses me. It just sounds like kind of cheesy pop music. Maybe it's because a lot of people taken from it and it got redone. I don't know, but I don't get the hype. I'm going to be honest. This is going to be one of those videos where maybe a lot of people disagree with me, but I can only give my honest opinion. It just doesn't connect. I mean, we could keep listening to the track. I'm making some early judgments on this thing, but here we go.
Everybody's gone surfing, surfing USA. We'll all be planning out a route we're gonna take real soon. We're waxing down our surfboard. We can't wait for June. We'll all be gone for the summer. We're on safari to stay. Tell the teacher we're surfing, surfing USA. And hang your knees and fall. Inside, outside, USA. Pacific Palisades. Inside, outside, USA. San Onofre and Sun. Inside, outside, USA. Redondo Beach and LA. Inside, outside, USA. All over the Hawaii. Inside, USA. At Waimea Bay. Inside.
Okay, so one thing that struck me in that last verse, and it was kind of the one of the things that came up, I was thinking about when I was thinking about the Beach Boys music earlier, was this right here, this line here. Tell the teacher we're surfing, surfing USA. Okay, so what I take from this track and what I thought about the music as well, it aligns with this line here, is that this is like teenage music, right? Like teenagers who were a part of the surf culture, right? It's for young people of the time. Some people were telling me in the comments that this was actually a great new sound that people weren't tapping into, a culture that people weren't tapping into, which was like the surf culture of the time. But why kind of maybe harshness with the critique of the music is that it's held to such high regard. I was expecting a certain thing coming from a different genre of music. When I listen to the Beatles, when I listen to Led Zeppelin, I can hear it. I can hear the genius. I can hear the brilliance. But it just, for whatever, I don't understand it. And to me, it's just this. It's like teenager music for the time, but it's kind of in lists, and Rolling Stone magazine and all kinds of people kind of reach out and tell me how brilliant the music is. And it just sounds like kind of teenage pop music of the time.
Everybody's gone surfing, surfing USA.
Like that guitar.
Everybody's gone surfing, surfing USA. Everybody's gone surfing, surfing USA. Everybody's gone surfing, surfing USA. Yeah, everybody's gone surfing, surfing USA. Yeah, everybody's gone surfing.
Okay. Yeah, this is just going to be one of those videos where I think it's going to divide a lot of people. I don't like the music, man. I just don't like the Beach Boys music. The one track I heard of theirs that I thought was really cool was Good Vibrations, because of the experimental parts of the track. That's the bit of it that I liked. But, you know, listen, we all have our taste. This isn't for me. This isn't my cup of tea. I'm willing to listen to more of their stuff, but, you know, if it's like this, it just sounds, in my head, really bland pop music, like something that doesn't vibe with me. I often say that I like the things that I like in rock music is attitude, it's lyrics in the gray area, taboo lyrics, it's the harshness of the drums, of course coming from hip-hop, and as well lyrically. That's why I align myself with bands like the Rolling Stones, because they cover topics in the gray area, like to take a track like Brown Sugar, really quite edgy. I don't know, man, this stuff isn't for me, but I can only be honest. I guess that's what I'll say, and you guys will let me know what you think in the comments. Other than that, I'll catch you guys in the next one.